morning, almost afternoon, isn't it? Wow, I tell you what, to look out here, Patty was right, amazing. I mean, just to think about where we came from just 3 short years ago to today is just so over the top. You know, the one question that I've been asked so many times this weekend is, do you feel like a celebrity? I guess I've taken pictures. How many people are here? 80, a little over 8,000. I think I've taken pictures with 7,998 of you. And that's only because Ronnie and Ray really don't want a picture with me. But what I want to tell you is, no, I do not feel like a celebrity. What I feel is grateful. You see, I took the chance of an opportunity of a lifetime, and it has well paid off. And so I don't want you to think about it anymore. I don't want you to stew about it. I want you to cross that line across the sand that Helen talked about yesterday. I want you to take that cross, take that step over that line, and make a decision today that you too will be on this stage. Yes, but last year I was the first diamond. But do you remember what I said on stage? I know some of you do, some of you may not, so I'm going to just repeat it. I said there's room on this stage for everyone. And 34 other diamonds took me up on that offer last year. And so a big round of applause for all of our diamonds. I want our diamonds to stand up. Stand up, diamonds. Turn around and give that audience a wave. Turn around. Turn around and wave at the audience. That's right, turn around. You see, next year, I think there's about 3 or 4 rows that are diamonds, sapphires, and emeralds, but you see next year, you see those screens up there way to the back? That's where the diamonds and the emeralds and the sapphires are gonna sit next year, right? Because you're gonna be in one of those seats because you've made a decision today that you will come back. I remember Sarah Marble saying, I think it was our first convention, she said she came with 2 people. And it was life-changing because she went home and became an emerald, and so did her mom. That day, she went from being a silver ambassador to 1 short year later, a diamond. Now, that's amazing, right? Amazing. But here's what I know. Some people will do it fast, and some people will do it in their own time. And that is okay. It is okay to become a diamond in your own time. It's okay to become a sapphire in your own time, even an emerald in your own time. This is not a race. It's not a race. You know, Tony Garcia said it best. It took me 2.5 years to become an emerald. She was probably at one of the very first meetings that I held over in the New Orleans area, Raceland, I believe. And, you know, she said it took me 2.5 years to get to emerald, and I was there in the crowd when we first got started. But it took me 2.5 years to get to a place that I personally needed to be so that I could be the best emerald I could be. I needed that 2.5 years, right? And so this is not a race. Take your time. Do it right. You only have one chance to do it right. Let's do it right every time. We're Plexus and we do everything right. Compliance is our friend, right? Well, today, you know, there's something about being the last person to do the training. I believe everything's been covered. Tarl just stole like 2 or 3 of my slides. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to talk about? But I'm going to talk about something that's really important to me because when I first started with this business, well, we didn't have a brochure. We certainly didn't have a catalog or these really fantastic videos that you got to see today. What we did have was just a dream and some ideas. And I'm a very visual person. I'm not very technologically savvy, ask Ray. I'm just a real person, and I thought, you know what? I love to track. I like to see where I'm going. And I feel like I don't know where I'm going unless I know where I've been and where I am currently today. So I love to track. And so one of the first things that we put together, and when I say we, there was just a few of us at the office. It was either Chris or Serena that answered the phone. And sometimes Charles answered because Chris and Serena was on the phone. So I said, I need something to track myself. And so we came up with a plan to make a level 3 worksheet. Now that level 3 worksheet is still in resources. You can find it there, but it's taken a couple of steps forward. It's improved a little bit. We've come up with some really cute names for it. One year it was the magic of 3. But today it's going to be the power of 3, because you see, everything revolves around the number 3 with this business. You see, I think you've heard several people say about how simple I am. I think that was a good thing, but I like keeping things simple. The simple, the better, because the only people that can make this business hard is us. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep it very simple and very basic, because the new ambassador that comes in today, and you say, just log into your back office, may be looking for a back room somewhere that they have no idea that it even exists. I kept telling people, just go to the back office. Where's that located? So be careful what verbiage you use with people and make sure they understand what you're talking about. Maybe they're not Plexus savvy just yet and they don't know what everything means. So you got to take your time. But it's just such a privilege to be up here today talking about the power of 3, because it is the most simplest formula that can take you anywhere you want to go in this business, because it's all about being a silver ambassador. How many silver ambassadors do I have out there? Well, you're on your way to Emerald is what I'm going to tell you right now. You're on your way to Emerald because you've already got this thing figured out. And congratulations, because we know we'll see you at Emerald or above next year. Because it's as simple, right? Yeah. How many of you silvers are going to be Emeralds next year? Well, you know what? You've got it already, and now all I need you to do is teach your team to become silvers. Why do you think there's a Silver Star program? We figured this thing out a long time ago. It just takes 3, but it's the duplication of that 3 that makes all the difference. So let's talk about that a little bit, and let's simplify this business, and let's talk about the 3 times 3 times 3 and what the power of 3 can do for you. Well, it all starts with you, right? You got to get yourself signed up. You've got to become an ambassador. You got to become a product of the product. You got to believe in the company. You got to know that the company's got your back and that this product works. End of discussion. Remember, how many of you were on the cruise? Well, I'm so excited that I had a couple days notice to know that I was going to speak today, because that's not the norm. You see, usually I get a little tap on the back and say, we need you to talk about something right quick. And that day they said, we need you to talk a little about something. And I had no idea what I was going to talk about. The boat was kind of swaying, and I think there was a hurricane out there somewhere. But I thought, you know what? What do people really want to know? They want to know one thing. Does our product work? And the answer is... And so that's been my motto ever since. That's what people really want to know. They want to know, does the product work? And the answer is yes. But now I know they want to know something else. Does the business work? And what's the answer to that? It certainly does. If you just have a simple formula. It is all about planning your work and working your plan. So let's talk about it. It starts with you. Now, duplication is the key. And there are all types of forms of duplication. You've heard a lot of it today, this weekend, about duplicating what other people are doing. Why recreate the wheel? I don't see any reason to. I'm looking for the easy way up. How about you? Looking for the easy way, but the right way. So it starts with you. And what you want to do is you want to go out and you want to find your first 3 team members. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Ray was not one of my first 3 team members. Have you figured that out yet? He was not, because you see, we didn't have a clue about signing up your spouse. Patty will tell you the only reason she signed up Ronnie was she just wanted to get the product for a cheaper price. She wanted 4 more bags of Slim, and the easiest way to do that was to buy a welcome package, so she signed Coach up. He didn't even know he was signed up. How many spouses you found out later that you got signed up? Exactly. So we didn't even know that existed. And so Ray is not even the number 1 to me. Because you see, we had no idea that it could work like that. But let me tell you this, it was probably the best thing that I didn't know that. Because you see, I didn't worry about his position and my position, I just worried about me and how I was gonna get there and how I was gonna take my team with me. You know, we're so fortunate because Ray got to retire this past January, several years in advance, and we had no idea that this business was gonna help him be able to retire. And so here we are now, we both get to work the business full-time on a part-time basis. It's amazing what freedom comes from this by you simply doing a formula of duplication. So you're gonna go out there and you're gonna find your first 3 people, because those 3 people are all worth 5 pay points to you. You know, this is about going wide and teaching your people to go wide, and guess what will happen? The depth. If you really just focus on going wide. So when a person comes into your organization, you don't need to say, you need 134 people wide, and then you can really get going with this business. No, you need 3. And when you get those 3, what's the next step? Go get another 3. And let's keep it simple. 3 every time you think about it. First, let's go get your 3. And as soon as you get your 3, your job is to teach those 3 to do the exact same thing. Now, the reason I know this is because I have made a few mistakes along the way. One of my mistakes was I went and got my 3, and I was gonna really help them go out and get their 3, so I did it for them. You see, I put my best friend under someone else because they meant so much to me. We had made this connection, and I'm like, oh, Ted, you're gonna love Sally, because that's where you're gonna go. You're gonna be in Sally's team. And guess what Sally did? Wait for me to sign someone else for her. She waited on me to help her get that silver bonus. So that's not the right way to do it. You see, if you make a connection with somebody and you build that relationship with that person, who do they sign up with? They sign up with you. Because what are you saying to them when you say, oh, yeah, I love you, we've built this relationship, this product's gonna work for you, now go be on so-and-so's team. I think it's a mistake, but it's up to you, it's your business. But what I want you to think about is, how can I train and encourage those people to do the exact same thing? You see, the company has put something in place that's called a silver bonus, $100. That's the encouragement and training. I want everybody on my team to be a silver ambassador. 1, because every level 1 is worth 5 points to me. And I want to teach and train them to go out and do the exact same thing. So that's what they do. They go out and get their 3, and they get a $100 check. Guess what? They're not going anywhere when they get that $100 check. You see, I want people to stay forever. I want people to understand what Plexus is, and maybe in day 2 they don't quite get it yet, but when they get that $100 bonus, it's gonna mean a lot to them. You know, they're right, Ronnie did collect his checks. One, we weren't real sure if they were even real, because we weren't sure how we had even made them. But he decided, I was cashing mine, he was collecting his in his pocket. But then his pocket started to kind of protrude. And so we were doing a meeting, and I'm like, Ronnie, why are you collecting the checks? He goes, I have no idea where they came from. They keep coming in, I just collecting them, and I'm like, well, you know, we don't know much about these people. You better go cash that, because we're not good. It could, you know, might not be good next week. Let's go cash them this week and put that money in our bank. So then we decided, oh, direct deposit's much better. So we started direct depositing our checks, but it was those $100 checks when they came in from becoming silver, and those $50 weekly business building bonus, and the $24.88 started coming in, because you see, when we got to the level 2, that business building bonus turned into $24.88, and we were loving it. How many people that first $24.88 check was life-changing? You realize, oh my goodness, I can make money every week with Plexus. You see, Ronnie and Patty were teachers. They got paid once a month, and that money had to last all month long, and I heard them talk about that for years, about, you know, sometimes before the next month came along, we started running out of money. And for us to start getting checks weekly was unbelievable. So those business building bonuses come in weekly, but only if you teach and train your people to go out and do the same thing that you're doing. It just makes more sense, simple duplication. And now, here is where I made my next mistake. You see, I got that level 2 and I thought, they're good, just go do it. Because I'm gonna go start my next 3. And of course, you're already starting your next 3. But you see, we need to follow it out. We need to make sure that that level 2 understands that they need to go out and do the same thing. They need to go out and create their level 1 that becomes your level 3. We can't stop when someone becomes a silver. We gotta help them. We've gotta encourage them. We want our silvers to go where? Gold. And the only way they're going to do that is by creating and helping and encouraging silvers. You see, silver is the magic. It is the magic place. It's the jumping off place to go to all the other levels of achievement. When 5 of us were sitting around the table, guess what we talked about? How do we get to gold? And when we got to gold, guess what our next conversation was? How do we get to senior gold? And the next conversation was, how do we get to Ruby? One achievement level at a time. And I know some of you are doing 2 or 3 in a month, and that's great, but you're only getting 1 at a time. You're getting 1 at a time, 1 at a time, 1 at a time. And remember, it's not a race, but it is so important that the simple duplication of you teaching and training your 3 people to go out and get their 3 people who train and go out and get their 3 people, and they know that their upline is doing the exact same thing. And you know, you're juggling a few plates at this time because you got a whole new set of 3 people happening over here and a whole new set of 3 people happening over here, because we do want you to go as wide as you want to go, because the depth will come if you teach everyone else to go wide. Does that make sense? You go wide, teach them to go wide, and all of a sudden, you've got depth coming. And you have got financial security, financial freedom by helping everyone on your team go silver and teaching their team to go silver and teaching their team to go silver, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look of what possibly could happen by simple duplication of the power of 3. You know, when you become a silver ambassador, the first thing that this company does is pay you for 5 levels. Do you know how generous that is? Do you have any clue how generous that is? Our company is amazing. By just becoming a silver ambassador with your first 3 team members, you can get paid for 5 levels deep. So let's talk about that. Here you are with your number 1s. You've become a silver ambassador. You've got a $100 check. You're excited. And now you have, as soon as they've done their $100 worth of personal volume, you have 3 ambassadors at 5 points each. You now have 15 points, 15 pay points. And now you've helped create that level 2, and that's an additional 9 ambassadors at 5 points. That's another 45 points. So now you've got the 15 points, the 45 points, and here comes that level 3. 27 ambassadors at 5 points each. Now you've got 135 points, along with the 45 points and the 15 points. You are moving up. You are going gold. Do you understand that? Just a simple duplication of those 3, you've already become a gold ambassador. But here's where it gets exciting. You see, because you taught that level 3 the exact same thing that you taught your level 1 and level 2, the duplication. 81 ambassadors at 4 points is 324 points. Things are starting to move and grow in your organization by simple duplication of the 3. Here comes level 5, you guys. Those 81 people go get their 3 people. You got 243 ambassadors on your 5th position at 3 points apiece. That's 729 points. 729 points because you simply taught the duplication of 3. You didn't say go find 25 people. You said let's find 3 people. Everybody knows 3 people that could either 1, use the product, or 2, that's looking for financial freedom. Would you agree? That total for 5 levels by simply doing the minimum of 3. And you know you're going to sign up people that are going to do 15, 45. And that's great, and we hope they do. But just keeping the simple duplication, you now have 5 levels. That's 1,248 points. Do you know that you can smell the emerald pool from there? You're smelling it. Woo, you're seeing the waves starting to roll in. It's beautiful and green, and you can feel it. Now, you have to earn level 6 and 7. It's the right thing to do, but that's already happening because you're going to have some of those silvers that are superstars. And they're all going to be out there doing the exact same thing you did, which was the simple power of 3. Now, you know, the power of 3 also comes in other categories too. And of course, that's where Charles stole my thunder earlier. But when we first got started, we realized the silver position was so important, but also how the power of 3 could be so important for your customer base too. How many people know that I'm all about not keeping this a secret? In the very beginning, I used to tell a story about my mom. Thank goodness she's not here. My sister and daughter are. Don't you tell her I'm telling this story. But my mom, when I first started with Plexus and I'd lost a few pounds, and you know, I had the privilege of starting Plexus before it had a name. And I started losing weight because when you lose 5 pounds, does not everybody want to know what you're doing? Everybody wants to know what you're doing. And when you say it doesn't have a name yet, it doesn't go over very well with your friends and family. I can't get you any because they only gave me this much. They think you're fibbing and that you want to keep this all to yourself. And so I had the privilege of starting on Plexus Slim back in July 6th, I'll never forget it. And then July 9th actually. And then September 6th, we officially rolled out with Plexus, and it had a name. Plexus Slim had a name. And the first thing I did is my mom wanted to lose a few pounds. She's in her 80s. She loves to go to church and the beauty shop. Those are her 2 main things that she loves to do. And so she likes to look good for both of them. And so we had her start drinking the Slim. And she lost 14 pounds like that. She had to go shopping and get some new Sunday school clothes. And a few weeks later, I said, Mom, I'm really surprised that some of your Sunday school friends have not called me asking for their Plexus Slim. And she said, I'm not telling them my secret. You see, she wanted them to think that she was on this terrible diet, just depriving herself of all these wonderful foods and, you know, just really working hard to lose these 14 pounds and not, you know, drinking something that tasted like Kool-Aid once a day. So let's don't keep it a secret, people. Let's tell people about this product. And in the same sentence, I'd like to say, let's also don't throw up Plexus on people as well. There is a happy medium, and we need to find that. Would you agree? Yeah. So don't keep it a secret. We want to tell people about it. And you know what? Everybody knows someone that's diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggles to lose weight. And when I go out and talk to people, it is never about them. It's always, who do you know? Who do you know that could benefit from a product that could possibly help someone that's diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggles to lose weight? Now, I know that we have all different types of products that do amazing things for other people, but you know what? Weight loss gets people's attention. Once they get in and they see all the health benefits, they're never going to leave. But we have to have that tagline that gets them in. So from the very beginning, I just started talking about, who do you know? Who do you know that's diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggles to lose weight? It was never about that person because, you see, I want to know, who do they know? It's a much bigger crowd than just them. If I'm in a new area and I don't really know them, I may happen to say to them, well, you know, I'm out marketing for a new company in the area, and they're looking for people that struggle, that might be diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggle to lose weight. Do you know anyone in the area that this product could help? Could I give you my card? I've never had anyone say no to me, that they won't take my card. So it's all about third party, and this can really help you build your business. If you're shy and maybe you're just not as outgoing as your friend is and you don't know how to talk to people, then take yourself out of the equation and talk for the company. I'm marketing a new product for a company that's in the area, just come into the area, and that's everywhere, by the way. A company that's just in the area and they're marketing to people that are diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggles to lose weight. Could I give you my card to pass to someone that you might know? You see, there's so many ways to work this business. In fact, there's 8,000 different ways to work this business, but we do need some simple duplication skills. So let's build our customers with the power of 3, because, you know, they were talking about the pay points earlier, and what I want to share with you is what a simple power of 3 could do for everyone's pay points, your customer base, and your 25% commission that I think everyone deserves. So let's talk about retail customers first, because you see, not only am I always looking for 3 new ambassadors, I'm always looking for 3 new retail customers and 3 preferred customers as well. So let's talk about what 3 retail customers can do for you. And the writing is very small, but 3 retail customers, and we're just going to use the combo of $114.95. Your PV equals $344.85 as a retail customer. That's pretty good already. You're already over the 300 mark, aren't you? With just having 3 retail customers. You got to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And you got to have a friend or 2 on Facebook that when you lose 5 pounds, they all want to know what you're doing, right? So 3 retail customers can really push you over that $300 mark that you already need for everybody to raise the pay point value. Let's talk about what preferred customers could do for you. Let's go out and find 3 preferred customers. You see, I think it's just a progression. I want to take my 3 retail customers to 3 preferred to 3 ambassadors. And I'm always looking for 3 more retail customers to take to preferred to take to ambassadors. So here's what could happen with 3 preferred customers. You have 3 preferred customers who basically have their credit card on file and get a shipment every month of the combo. Well, the combo costs them only $99.85, and your volume from that is $270 because that's $90 times 3 coming back to you. But there also is a preferred customer bonus of an additional $18. So not only do you get the volume, but you get a bonus too for having preferred customers. You know, I think we're missing the boat if we don't have preferred customers. What about you? You know, there are over 11 ways to earn an income, and this is one of them, and we don't want to miss out on it. So you want your 3 preferred customers. Now, you've got another $54 coming from you and $270 in volume. But what happens when we add our 3 retail customers and our 3 preferred customers to our power of 3? So now we got our retail little people coming in, our 3 preferred little people coming in, and now our volume is $614.85. Do you think that might help the pay point? Just saying, do you think that might help the pay point? You bet. So your total, then you're in the 25% range. And I think if the company gives you 2 choices, do you want 15% back or you want 25% back, what is the smart answer? Hello? If you only need 3 retail customers and 3 preferred customers to achieve that, then why aren't we doing it? Because what is the one thing we should be out there doing? Sharing this product. You've heard it from all the speakers this weekend. Share the product. Don't keep it a secret. So you're looking at $182.71 by having 3 preferred customers, 3 retail customers. This has just paid for your product. Who would like to get their Plexus for free? You know what? I don't care how much money you make with Plexus, the free is always better. Free is good, right? And so I want my product for free. So I want to make sure that I have 3 retail customers, 3 preferred customers, and I'm always looking for 3 new ambassadors. And sometimes there are people that are going to say, I want to sign up right now, and I'll take the product after I sign up. And then we have those that want to try the product, and that's okay. And Patty showed you earlier the catalog. And I'll talk to you just for a minute about the catalog, because I think that is probably the best tool that we have right now. Especially if you're one of those people that you like to talk one-on-one with people, or maybe 2 or 3 people at a time. You know, when we first got started, I did something by accident. I had a weight loss party. I think they're called tastings now. But in the beginning, they were called weight loss parties. And I can remember I called Tarl and Alfred and I said, okay, I'm doing this weight loss party, because in my other business, I had a friend who said, I want to give you a weight loss party. And I'm thinking, you know, I don't really know anybody that'll come to that. I mean, I just can't imagine people gathering around to talk about weight loss. Well, to my surprise, they wanted to come to a weight loss party. So she said, what kind of invitations should I send out? So on Facebook and on an email, she wrote, who do you know that may be diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggles to lose weight? Have them come to my house and taste a new product. Well, the first person walked in and I thought, geez, I wonder what she wrote, because that person does not need to lose any weight. And then the second person walked in and, well, that person didn't need to lose any weight. And then the third person walked in and I thought, oh my goodness, she needs a cookie. I mean, you know, it was just, I was like, where are these people coming from? You said these are going to be people that needed to lose weight. And anyway, so about 8 people showed up, and I was so professional. I had no sign. I had, I don't even know if, I think I did have a package that had like a Plexus Slim logo stuck to it. And I had it sitting on a table, and I had a bottle of water and some Dixie cups. They had like little faces or something on them, thank you. And Dixie cups, and I shook it up, and I poured it in the little Dixie cup, and I get it to the first lady, and I said, now I know obviously you don't need to lose any weight, but you know, I'd love for you to try it. And she said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm here because my husband is diabetic, and I thought this product could help diabetics. And I was like, oh, it can. Oh, yeah, okay. And then the next lady said, well, oh my goodness, my daughter needs to lose 140 pounds and she's tried everything, and so I'm here for her. And the next person said, I lost 70 pounds and I've already gained 30 of it back, so I thought this could help me to get back to my weight loss journey. And you see, I learned a very valuable lesson that day. Let's don't prejudge, because we never know what that person is experiencing. So here's what happened. I didn't know a lot about it, other than that I had lost 22 pounds and 12 inches by simply drinking one of these a day, and I hadn't changed my eating habits. It had changed them for me, because I no longer was a candy-holic, and I also was 4 Diet Cokes a day, and I haven't had a Diet Coke in 3 years. So, you know, it's just, I even tried to drink one socially. Ugh, couldn't stand it. So, you know, don't prejudge. And so I called Tarl and Alfred back the next day, and they said, so what are the percentages of that weight loss party? And I said, oh, geez, I hate to even tell you this, but 6 people signed up and the other 2 bought. And let me just remind you, I knew nothing about the product other than my own personal testimony. And so I told them, I said, but you know what? Let me have another one. I'm sure those statistics are wrong. Let me do it again. And Patty and I already talked about we're going to have one at her house. And she's going to invite her mother and her sister and her son-in-law. And we're going to have a nice sandwich spread. And we're going to have some cookies, because we need to feed these people. And because they will come if we have food. And so we had this beautiful sandwich tray and some desserts. Didn't we, Patty? It was beautiful. She had a bar all lined up with food. It was wonderful. And so everyone came in, and I did the same thing. I shook it up, put it in a Dixie cup, and told them about my little story. And, you know, Ronnie will tell you, he was hovering over there by the sandwiches. I mean, that's where he was. He was eating the sandwiches. It'd been a while since Patty had cooked, and so he's thinking, hey, I'm going to have some sandwiches. So is that not right? That's true, isn't it? So he's eating the sandwiches, and he heard me talk about the diabetic part. I had no idea he was taking 4 insulin shots a day. Patty had not shared that with me. I just know that the last few times I had seen him, he didn't look so well. He'd had a Bell's palsy stroke. He could barely walk around the house. And he took 4 insulin shots a day. But he heard what I was saying, and the next thing we knew, he was stealing Patty Slim and taking it to school with him and drinking it. And so her son-in-law decides he's going to sign up and become an ambassador. It was our first male ambassador. We're like, woohoo, more than just women want to do this business. And everybody wanted to sign up, and again, I had to call Alfred and Tarl and tell them we had 100% again. Are you kidding me? They either signed up or they bought. But surely that cannot be the right thing. And so Patty said, let's do one more. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this one at my house. And I'll have the sandwiches and chips and dip and cookies. And so we had it at my house. And Patty almost didn't come because all of her guests canceled at the last minute but one. And she said, oh, could you take care of my guests? And I said, oh, I certainly could. But, you know, Patty, I don't really know what to say. And I could just really use you here for moral support. And Patty goes, okay, I'm coming. But she didn't want to. She was ready to back out. I mean, how many of you felt like that? If my guests aren't going to show up, I'm not going. Right? But sometimes we need you there because we need moral support. We need everybody helping us. Sometimes it's not all about you. So Patty came and we had the one guest. And guess what? Everybody either signed up or bought. But one lady left, and the next day she called me, because you see, Patty worked a full-time job. And the next day she called me and she said, I know Patty can't come talk to me, but could you possibly come and bring about 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 of those enrollment forms with you? Because I've said a few things to my friends here at work, and they all think they would like to be a part of this business because you see, my husband's a diabetic and he has high blood pressure, and I think this is what we've been looking for. And so do my friends' husbands and mothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and dear friends. And could you just bring a bunch of enrollment forms with you? So I went to her office and we passed out enrollment forms, and in the next 20 days, we added 29 people to Patty's team. And when we called Alfred and Tarl, and you see, she had signed up Ronnie accidentally, so she had 30 people on her team. They were like, oh my goodness, you know what? People could probably do that in 30 days. Patty, we're gonna create a whole new level of achievement. It's gonna be called the Fast Start. No, you're not getting a bonus. We just appreciate you showing us it can be done. So, thank you, Patty, for starting the Fast Start. But you know what? We worked as a team, because together everyone achieves more, right? And we are one big team. And I've had so many people come up to me and say, I don't think I'm in your team. Oh, yes, you are. You're in my Plexus family, because we're all one big family. So no matter who they are, where they live, or whose organization in, if you are at a level that someone is achieving to be, then stop, take a minute, have your picture made with them, give them one little piece of advice, even if you don't even know what to say. Maybe it's just a hug or a smile, or you can do it, or I believe in you, or maybe, just maybe, you can tell them a little bit about the power of 3. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and you're the best. Thank you.
Diamond number 1. Diamond number 1, Sheila Medina. Hear it for Sheila.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank her. Woo! Thank her.